So next is from Narsk Rigigi. The subject is, I'm not trying to get you guys in trouble or make myself come across like an incel loser, but I need to ask you guys about something. Bayley, K100 has said before that when people are in shape, it makes no sense for people to work in t-shirts or baggy ring gear. So that in mind, why has Bayley covered up the fact that she's one of the greatest in the history of planet Earth? It's honestly like Jennifer Lopez perfect. Even other WWE wrestlers are posting IG photos about it, and there's a classic meme going around that has Gunther doing one of his chops on Bayley's ass. So why is she wrestling in ring gear that makes her look like a member of Slipknot? If Bayley came out wearing shorts, the Earth would stop moving, and Conan would be counting the seconds so he could see some damage control on WWE TV. What do you guys think? And he says Billy sucks.
Listen, why can't you just respect her as an athlete and a former champion without worrying about her physical attributes? I mean, that's just get with the times, man. Come on.
Yeah,
why is she not showing
you would
it though?
think this is not so, but there's some girls that they're kind of what's the word?
Want to be respected as performers instead of
not so much of that, but no. They're
insecure.
Yeah, like a little bit insecure about their body. She might be insecure about her. Who knows? That's why she covers it up, which would make her a lot of money if she, wore something more.
Now, good point.
Fitting.
Maybe she's out of shape a little bit, and it shows in her butt, so she's covering it up right now. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I didn't really notice it. So, the next is from the Phenom 389X, and the subject is Hulk Hogan. Do you think Hulk Hogan doesn't get enough credit for making people look good in the ring? Hogan gets accused of buying other wrestlers because he never took many losses, but can anybody say they look bad in a match against him? Guy made a career out of getting beat up for 20 minutes and winning by a miracle. So he can really be the ultimate burial guy if he's letting his opponents look like $1 million for 20 minutes before beating them. This is what people don't realize, okay? And especially when you're in the, Hogan went over all the time. But bro,
and he would kick out of everyone's finish.
It's not even that. You're on you're on the show wrestling in the match that's going to get the biggest pop of the night. Like, what a great... Who gives a... We don't care if we win or lose. You want to be in that spot. You want to be wrestling... Like, if you don't aspire to wrestle the champion in a main event, okay, regardless of whether you win or lose, like, that should be your minimum goal in professional wrestling. You know,
and
like, to be able to wrestle the champion in the main event. Right.
Back then, it wasn't about a monthly contract. It's how much you made at the house shows.
Right.
Or the big events. They would give you a draw right there. They would pay, you'd get paid per match, so you want to go where there's the most people, and who was drawing the most people? Hogan.
Right, and Hogan Hogan was people don't realize this, and this is why he made the most money. He was a perfect worker, very simplistic, sold his ass off. Bro, watch his matches. He sells his ass off until he hulks up. Like, something like he's always constantly overselling, like, agony and stuff. Like he's overselling. It's like, bro, because he knows to make money, you have to make your opponent look credible enough to think that they can beat you at some point. And so he just knew, he knows the formula, I think it's funny he gets criticism for that. I don't know. Next is from
guys. I gotta jump off. I gotta call at 7:40 or 4:45 your time with Rev Masters, a new company that's looking into us. So
all right,
I gotta.
We're doing this, and then we're gonna do the SmackDown review. Just keep it going, or you got to change your file?
Yeah, no, I can keep it going. Either you can hit end recording, or just let me know, and I'll come back on and hit it if I'm not back.
All right, cool.
Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Next from Tommy Herman, the subject is K100 questions. What up, K1 Bow Wow? Question for Conan. You mentioned you grew up with a Jewish stepdad. Any good memories of chopping up the Jewish community in your childhood? Some good Hanukkah parties? Any traditions you keep to this day? P.S. Disco is over in Israel, and this was sent in by T-Bone McFlanagan.
Yeah, I don't keep any traditions.
Do you know the words of Hava Nagila?
Yes.
Do you really? I'm going to sing it along. Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila, Hava Nagila Venishmucha. Do you know that part, right?
Yeah, bro. Do you know how many times I've heard?
Hava Narana Hava. Bro, how great of what a great spot it would have been if you came out during the bar mitzvah with MJF,
right,
and had wearing your total Conan thing, and you're wearing your yarmulke, and he's asking, well, what are you doing out here? He's like, I grew up with a Jewish dad.
Right, and then sang the song.
That was a missed opportunity right there, right?
It was. It really was. Nah, bro, I don't keep any of the. We had a lot of family in Chicago and from New York, and they would come down to Imagine This, Jews in Miami Beach. Oh. So what I do remember is that He loved gefilte fish, which I thought was nasty as
Gross. Bro, the Jewish food is awful.
Right. Yes.
I mean, it's like no taste. It's like,
Right.
ugh.
What is matzo ball made out of? Because whatever it's made out.
Horrible. It's like literally you got to just put a bunch of salt and some hot sauce in the matzo ball soup to make it taste like anything, you know?
It's brutal.
Horrible.
Their food is like the English brutal Bob Evans. Yeah.
Well, that part of the food is, but they do have the kind of like the Mediterranean, like the bar, the
Kebabs and stuff.
Kebabs and stuff.
Yeah,
right.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
So,
Yeah.
Right. Hummus and everything. It's very
Right.
Greekish. Yeah. Next up, Ruben Barrera, and the subject is cars. Hey, K100 crew, love the show, especially K100 Talks. Not sure if you guys are big car guys, but when you got your first big paycheck from wrestling, what was the first car you got with it, or big purchase? Also, what were some of the cars you like now? Thanks for all the last, Ruben Barrera. That's from Houston, Texas. I always leased an Infiniti Q45 for literally 9-10 years. It's the first and only. I just constantly would just go get a new Infiniti Q45. That was my car. I drove it for years. What about you?
The first big car I got with my paycheck, which I've said on the show before, is a Ferrari, and the cars that I like now is like the Range Rover, the Mercedes S Class, which I had for many years, and I'm probably going to get another one. The Mercedes and the Range Rover. Those are, and you know what? I'm thinking of getting a Tesla in the future, an electric car. They had a showroom with the Tesla in it.
Mm-hmm.
And like the doorknobs, they're not out; they're like inside of the car. You got to press it so they come out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the driver's seat, it looks like a cockpit. You know, it has all the information on this big computer screen, and it didn't have a gas tank, which was weird.
Right.
Yeah.
Next is from Christopher Palacios, and the subject is Paraguayo documentary. Hi K100 crew, we should watch Un Mexico Pero el Hero Verdadero, a documentary about Paraguayo and Hijo de Paraguayo. Conan and Rey, among other luchadors, were heavily featured in the doc, which was structured as if Pero was holding the camera and they were speaking directly to him. My question is for Conan. Could Hijo de Pero speak English well, and could you envision him crossing over into the American wrestling market? Thanks for all the great content over the years. That's from Crispy Biscuit in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, he did not speak good English, and he didn't care about coming to the United States, and he would have gotten over for sure. And the reason he didn't care is because his dad had like all this construction, and he made it bigger. So he had a massive construction company where he was making mega bucks. Like he didn't even need to be in wrestling. He was in wrestling because he loved it.
Next is some Brandon Gates, and the subject is long matches versus compelling stories. Good day, crew. You often hear the current wrestling fans have short attention spans. But both WWE and AEW prodigiously display long matches on their weekly programming. However, when there is an opportunity for episodic storytelling or long-term booking, the same fans who love pay-per-view matches on free TV say the story should have ended when wrestler A is hot or in a TV match with a decisive ending the next week, but not when the story is told in full or at its most compelling point. How can the same fans love long matches but not be patient enough for long-term stories? Is the bloodline not proving that long-term stories trump the good match fairy? Yeah, I don't know what people are saying. It's like, I mean, the guy obviously listens to the show. I don't know what to. This is a good point. You got any comment on this?
I'm not even sure what the question was.
Well, how he says when there's an opportunity for episodic storytelling or long-term booking, the same fans who love pay-per-view matches on free TV say the story shouldn't have ended when wrestler A is hot or in a TV match with a decisive ending the next week, but not when the story is told in full or at its most compelling point. How can the same fans love long matches but not be patient enough for long-term stories? Is the bloodline not proving that long-term stories trump the good match fairy? Yeah, like I said, it's just there's camps in professional wrestling. There's people that are into the matches and people that are into the storylines. The people that are into the matches don't have patience for the long-term storylines. You know what I'm saying? So they just want to get to matches, and so sometimes the build makes the matches more compelling. So I would agree with this.
Yeah, me too. And that's how I like the book. Long storylines. Let it
Right.
marinate, get invested,
Right.
Yeah.
And like all the little satellite stories that are going around your main story, you can have matches. Yeah. Right. It's just it's an easy way to book, Daniel Mole zoned out without Iranian tobacco. Hello, gentlemen and Joe. Quick one. Not hating on Billy. I like him most of the time, but does anyone else zone out when he goes on and on and on and on? Have a great week. Yes, and we've spoken to him about that too. So we've talked about this on the show. Why do you even bring this up?
I maybe didn't hear that episode.
Right. What else? So that's been the mailbag.
All right. Enjoy the rest of the show. Boom.